Come on. Move it!
Oh, come on, Tori. You don't want to do something stupid you're going to feel sorry for.
The only thing I feel sorry about is that I didn't finish you off the first time I shot you.
Look, what good is this going to do for your kid if you get sent away forever, right? Look, you got a pretty good chance with that insanity plea now. Don't blow it with that stupid...
Shut up! Sit down.
Sit.
All right, now take out a piece of paper and a pen. Do it!
All right!
Okay. Now you're gonna write exactly what I say, word for word. Now write. I lied about having an affair with Victoria Capwell. Go on! I was trying to kidnap Julia Wainwright's baby. And Victoria Capwell shot me in self-defense. Write it down!
You are out of your mind. Do you know that? I am not going to put myself away for life in some prison.
Well, it's either that, or I'm going to put you in your grave. Now write. All right, I'll say it. I am C.C. Capwell's daughter.
I knew it. I knew that was the reason for your return.
I haven't done anything wrong.
How did you find out?
From my mother. From Pamela herself. I thought that it was just a cruel joke when I first got that. Because my mother died 20 years ago, or at least so I was told. And I believed it because I knew you loved her so much that you'd be with her if she was alive. But it wasn't a hoax. She was alive. She was on her deathbed when she wrote that. Why did you tell me she was dead, Daddy? Why did you lie to me all those years? I just wanted to tell you that there's an ambulance outside. I think Kane is here.
Well, an ambulance just pulled up. I assume that means your friend from the mountains is here.
Please don't start, Daddy.
I'm surprised I even let it go this far.
Kane, I'm glad you agreed to come. I know you're going to like living here.
I bet Johnny loved his first night at home.
Right, you got that right. He was up to 5:30 this morning playing with his toys.
Good feeling or was he playing by himself? You look a little tired.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess I'm not going to hear any complaints out of me. As long as I've got him back, I don't care if I get any sleep.
I can't tell you how good it makes me feel to see you happy again. It's like looking at a whole new man behind the bar. Well, I'd better be going. I've got a class this afternoon.
Jane, I've been thinking about what you said yesterday. About the high price that you had to pay to get Johnny back.
Nothing matters now that he's back.
It does matter. You see, I was standing right here when Keith pulled that stunt about you leaving your earrings at his place.
Rick.
Keith had information about Johnny. I know you didn't get it for nothing.
Rick, if I miss my class...
It's very important. Now, I need to know what he made you do to get the information.
You know, we're wasting our time and a lot of the taxpayers' money if we bring this to court.
Well, you know what a zealot I am for saving the taxpayers' money, darling.
It's obvious, Keith, that the circumstances surrounding this trial are just a misunderstanding.
You know, you should have represented Charles Manson. Oh, gee, Your Honor, it was all just a misunderstanding. He was bringing by a pizza. He hadn't sliced it yet.
You got a weak case and you know it.
That's why you're here, on your knees, begging to cop a plea.
Was I... No, I didn't come in here to cop a plea.
You know, you're looking pretty good ever since you popped that kid. You all healed up. I mean, you know, we can go off someplace by ourselves, work this out.
I'd rather stick needles in my eyes. It's good to know you haven't changed, though, Keith. You're just as slimy as ever.
Thanks. Nice to know I haven't lost my touch.
Look, I know what happened to your sister. And I know that you have a vendetta against Victoria.
I'm going to give you a piece of advice. you or anybody else mentions my sister during the course of this trial, I'm going to go after your client like I've never gone after anybody before. I put that behind me. I want to stay there. Okay?
Okay. Fine. I won't mention it. But I want you to tell me why you're so dogged about this case.
Because your client is a certifiable nut.
That's not true. She's completely stable.
Are you buying that story?
Mm-hmm.
She's an actress. She acts like Harriet Nelson, but she's really Lizzie Borden underneath.
You're going to lose the case, Kate. And you're going to be sorry that you ever pushed it.
No, I think you're the one that's going to be red-faced for defending a wacko like Victoria Capwell. What puzzles me, though, is why you're so fervent about this woman.
Because she's my client, and I believe that she's innocent.
No, I know you and your innocent clients. This is something deeper. What do you two have in common, I wonder?
Ooh, wouldn't you like to know? I believe that she had every intention of protecting my daughter.
Well, I'd watch Victoria Capwell like a hawk if I were you. You know? I mean, it's 1 p.m. Do you know where your client is now?
Okay. Just give me the piece of paper. I said, give it to me. Victoria Capwell and I were lovers until she became a... Look, Paul. I'm not playing any games here.
Well, you're nuts if you think I'm going to write down what really happened.
And I am not going to jail or giving up my baby because of your filthy lies.
You are pathetic! You know that? I could write down word for word what you told me, and it would not be admissible in court. You know why? Because you're holding a gun on me, you bimbo! Confession under duress.
Shut up. I don't care what you think. Just write what I told you, or I swear to God I am going to shoot you.
Well, go ahead.
Shoot me. I never told you you were Cece Capwell's daughter. Because I never thought of you that way.
Don't deny that that man is my father.
Biologically, he is. But in every way that matters, you are my child. I raised you, and my feelings have never changed. Was there ever one moment in your life when you felt that I was not your father? Was there ever one moment in your life when you felt that I didn't love you like a father?
No.
And all of those nights, when I came home from the lab and we used to talk for hours about thousands and thousands of things, and you said that you wanted to work with me. You really wanted to be a scientist. Elena, I wanted that so much.
I wanted that too until...
Until you read this, and then this just changed everything. Elena, I really tried to find out what was bothering me. I asked you to talk about it, but you wouldn't.
I couldn't. I had to try and figure it out for myself, because the moment I got that letter, the only thing I could think of was what Cece did to my mother. He must have known that she was pregnant with me when he kicked her out. And then later when she was dying, he could have helped her. And he didn't. He just let her die.
It would have been better if you never knew.
But I do know. I do know. And not only do I know that he let her die, I know that he has stolen my heritage that is rightfully mine.
Elena, is that what you want? Is that what you're really after? The Capwell name, the power, the wealth, and everything that goes with that?
No. That's not what I'm really after.
All of those years, you know, I loved your mother. I never realized the hatred, the depth of her hatred. And now, you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing that hatred right now, right here in your eyes. And it scares me. Now, let it go, Elena. Forget about Cece. Forget about the Capwells. Please let it go, or something's going to happen that you will regret.
No, don't tell me that you don't hate Cece Capwell. You came here for revenge.
That's true. But I know how to stop. I know how to hurt him and not be hurt.
Think I don't?
Elena, as much as I love you, and as much as I really care, If one of the Capwell children are badly hurt, you know what I will have to do.
Kane, I know you've met Cruz, but this is my mother, Sophia Capwell.
Mrs. Capwell.
Hello, Kane.
And this is my father, Cece Capwell.
Mr. Capwell.
Can I show you to your room now?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, Mama. I'll see you in a little while. I want to know why you're acting this way.
Because I happen to hate having that man in my home. It goes against everything I know is right.
I need him here. Why can't you accept him for that reason?
Because I don't understand it. And I don't like it.
I wish I knew why everybody was so suspicious of Kane.
Well, when a man drags you away from a public place at gunpoint, Eden, it's kind of difficult not to be suspicious of him. In fact, it's kind of difficult not to think that you have lost your mind moving him in here.
He didn't do what he did because he wanted to harm me. He didn't want to see me get hurt.
Uh-huh. And is that supposed to explain why he kept you in those mountains for 5 months while we all thought you were dead?
I'm too tired to talk about this anymore.
You know, I want to remind you, I stood in the man's cabin. I looked him in the eye while he lied to me. He deliberately kept you and me apart. Now, if there's some way you found of justifying that in your own mind, I'd be glad to hear what it is.
I don't need to justify that to you or anybody else.
Apparently not. But I am amazed, I gotta tell you. See, I remember a time when a guy like that couldn't have come between you and me. When the power of our love would have healed these wounds. I guess I have too long a memory. I guess you've forgotten what it was like to depend on me.
I'm sorry if it hurts you that I have to rely on Kane and not you.
You want to tell me what happened in that cabin?
I told you. He nursed me back to health and he helped me walk.
And so you're grateful to him. I understand that. That does not begin to explain this kind of obsession.
What? How dare you?
Are you in love with him?
So what are you waiting for, Tory? Shoot me.
Look, I'm warning you.
Look, I'll tell you what, why don't we just give it a rest here, okay? I mean, second-rate TV performances, they're one thing, but in real life, laughable.
I swear to God, I'll shoot you.
I am shaking in my loafers.
You know, you are such a sleaze. I should have known that from the moment I met you in Hollywood.
Oh, honey pie, dear heart, you knew it. That's why you were right at home.
Oh, shut up. Just shut up.
I guess the truth gets reactions, doesn't it? And the truth is that no matter how much Capwell money is put into you, you will always be the same old party-time bimbo in Hollywood.
Stop it!
Or what? Or what, huh? What are you going to do? You going to hit me with this thing? I knew it was a fake as soon as you got close to me. And now, Miss Lane, you are in real trouble. Why, she asked? Because you came into my room illegally, and then you tried to threaten me and intimidate me with what I could easily interpret as a deadly weapon.
I just wanted you to tell the truth.
The truth. The truth is no longer relevant. I thought you knew that.
What are you talking about?
I'm sick of your games, Miss Lane. I've been able to ignore most of them, but not this one.
But, Daddy, you know that I could never actually do anything to hurt the Capwells.
And I wish that I could believe that. There has to be a reason why you don't want anyone to know who you really are. And this coincidence, a coincidence of Eden being found by Kane. You can't really expect me to ignore that.
I'm expecting you to have faith in me. I admit that when I first found out that Cece was my real father, I felt angry and resentful. And that when I first came to town, that all I could think of was somehow getting even with him.
I wish that I could change that for you.
I'm better now. I'm fine. Because when I first came to town, I watched Cece Capwell, and I thought he had this wonderful family life, and that he had never had to pay for anything rotten that he had done in his life, that he had never had to pay for the horrible things that he had done to my mother. But then when I got to know the Capwells a little better, I understood that they're really operating under this facade of happiness. And then came the newspaper article, and that exposed him. That made him look foolish. And really, that serum disaster was quite enough revenge.
Elena, if this is true, why do I still see so much rage in your eyes when you talk about him?
Rage? No. It's just a reflection of what you're feeling, because I might feel anger, but I don't feel any rage.
Elena, I've known you all your life. I know what happens when you feel wronged.
No. You're remembering the tantrums of the little girl, Father.
And you think now that you have your anger completely under control.
I could lie and say that I had it all under control, but then you'd know I was lying, wouldn't you?
Elena, this anger, believe me, it will only destroy you. Do you understand that?
I'm beginning to understand that. I don't want to have these feelings. You're right, Father. I really have to deal with these feelings of anger. And with the feelings about my mother.
Yes, you do.
I think maybe if it's all right with you that I should see a psychiatrist.
I think you're right. And I'm very happy to hear you say it.
I just didn't want to do it wrong. I didn't want to go to just anybody. I wanted to see if you had a recommendation.
Of course. No, I know someone, a friend, right here in Santa-Barbara who happens to be the best. It's Alan Glass.
Should I just call Dr. Glass then and let him know that you referred me?
Yes, I'm sure that he'll see you immediately. Elena, look, I don't want your hate for Cece to dominate your entire life. That's all. Please.
I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it when I said that I had my heritage stolen. I didn't want it to hurt you.
I know. It's all right.
You're my father. And no one can change that. And no one can ever take your place.
I love you so much.
I love you too, Daddy. I'll never do anything to make you ashamed of me. You really think I slept with Kane, don't you?
I asked you a question.
You have no
Are
idea.
you in love with the man?
I have feelings for him. He saved my life.
In other words, you can't answer me.
I am not accountable to you.
Yeah, obviously not, Eden. And I'll tell you, quite frankly, I don't want to know the details. Whatever happened in that cabin, as far as I'm concerned, it's in the past, unless it affects our future.
We have no future together.
I'm not going to listen to that. I told you I don't give a damn about this wheelchair. You are the only woman I will ever love. I have known a lot of people who were in wheelchairs. They have a tougher time of it than the rest of us, but I don't pity them. Every single person on the face of the earth has to play the cards they've been dealt. Nobody has it perfect. Now, I wish to God this hadn't happened. But when I think about the lives that you and I have led and the blessings that could still be in store for us, I consider ourselves lucky.
I don't know what else to say to you. I'm sorry if you don't understand. I just want to be left alone.
Well, I'm sorry if I can't do that. Darling, I need you as much as you need me.
Please. Please just leave me alone.
Jane, I don't want to upset you, but you've got to tell me if Keith did anything at all to hurt you.
Why should I tell you anything? You don't even want anything to do with me.
Listen to me, I never said that. Jane, I was obsessed with finding my son. That's all I could think about. But I cared deeply for you because I knew you were desperate to help me find him.
I had to help. I was totally responsible.
No, you weren't. He was taken by a professional. Now, let's get beyond this. I told you I don't blame you. Look at me. I just hope that you didn't feel so guilty. I mean, if Timmons knew how desperate you were...
He knew exactly how desperate I was. I had to sleep with him to get the information.
I didn't realize Kane would be getting out so soon. Enough time to put that security guard in place yet.
I think having a security guard in this house watching him is going a little too far.
You do? Well, I don't. I may have let that man into this house, but I don't trust him any more than I did the first time I laid eyes on him.
Well, to be very honest with you, it makes me uncomfortable having him here, too.
Every time I think about him holding that gun to Eden's head and dragging her out of the hotel,
Please don't talk about that. Let's just try to remember that one time he helped her walk, and maybe he can do it again.
He admits he doesn't even know how he did it the first time.
Cece, the point is that she has enormous faith in him.
That's what I'm having difficulty understanding.
Mr. Capwell, your security guard is here.
Thank you. Look, as I told you before, I've let a man come into this house that I think is a tremendous security risk, and I want you to watch over him.
No. I will not allow you to make Kane a prisoner.
Busy?
No.
I just came from a wonderful encounter with our illustrious DA. Yet another attempt to get him to drop charges against Victoria.
No luck, I guess.
You know, the weirdest thing is, I can tell he knows he shouldn't be going to trial with it. And as big a jerk as he is, he's still a decent attorney. He knows he has a half-baked case, but he's still pushing it. Something's not adding up here. And it looks like I've come at a bad time to get some advice.
I'm sorry, Julia.
I expected to see Pearl here. I didn't think he'd be hanging around at the office. Well, Eden's back in town. All right, what's wrong?
She doesn't want to see me.
Why?
I don't know. I guess I haven't convinced her yet
What do you have to convince her of?
that I still love her as much as I ever did. Doesn't matter to me that she may not be able to walk anymore.
I didn't know how serious her injury was.
Doesn't matter.
Not to you, Cruz.
There's nothing in the world that could make me feel differently about Eden. All I want to do is help her.
I'm sure she realizes that.
Then why is she pushing me away?
Because maybe she's not ready for your help yet.
She says it's over.
She doesn't mean that.
You know what she did, Julia? That man, the man who had her in the mountains for 5 months, she moved him into the house.
The man with the gun at the Orient Express?
Yeah.
Why would she do something like that?
She says that he can help. I don't know why, you know. But I don't care. I wouldn't mind if she would talk to me, if she would just give me a clue that she remembers who I am.
You know in your heart that Eden loves you. But she has been through an incredibly traumatic ordeal. She's facing the possibility of not walking again. And I know it's difficult for you. But if she's decided that she needs some time to think this through, then you need to respect that.
Julia, I thought she was gone all this time. I thought I'd lost her forever. Now she shows up again, and I'm supposed to disappear? Oh, I'm sorry, but I can't do that.
This time, counselor, you're going to jail.
You really think I'd withhold information about a kidnapping?
You did!
Stupid, isn't it?
No, you're not very bright yourself, you see, because I have a witness. Jane?
Oh, yeah, I gave her information. I mean, that she thought led to other information about your son. I didn't. Ask her. I didn't. I just gave her an empty file.
So you explain what happened. Well, let's see the file.
I don't know if I should do this or not, but I will. I've got something to show you. But when you look at this, you look at it, you read it, you get off my back, and you get out of here, okay? It's a file. Don't you know? I mean, I know you're not a lawyer, but I didn't think you couldn't read. Look at it. This thing is dated. It's marked. It's signed. It's the tip that we got. It is not signed by me. Someone else in the office took it. I saw Jane. She was shook up. She was feeling guilty because you thought that she was responsible for your son being taken. She felt cornered, so I offered her physical solace. Let her feel redeemed.
You certainly have thought of everything, haven't you, counselor?
I dislike that insinuation. But I'll tell you something. Be prepared has been my motto ever since I was thrown out of the Scouts. Why don't you ask Jane if I was prepared?
I did. And the word wasn't prepared that you used. It's more like premature. What a man.
Hey, what happened?
Yeah, he made a pass at me and I turned him down. What a bad sport. Hurt his ego. You know where I can find a good dentist?
No, but I could get you a good pediatrician.
I'm afraid a tooth might fall out. That's funny. You know, it's been a rotten day altogether for me.
Well, listen, I got news. That's going to change that.
Julia, it wasn't even a real gun.
He didn't know that, did he? Victoria, you tried to force him to confess under duress.
Yes, that is what Paul said, yes.
Oh, terrific. He had to shoot someone who knows the law.
You know, I should have brought a tape recorder.
Ah, heck. You should have hung him out a hotel window by his heels until he confessed. Do you know how ridiculous this is? I'm doing everything I can to help you, and you run off half-cocked and screw everything up. Now, I've asked you before to be patient. I am telling you now to stop interfering.
Julia, who do you think you are talking to? I am not a child. It's my neck that is on the line. You should be glad that I think instinctively now and then. Otherwise, Paul would have kidnapped your child.
Why do you think I'm defending you? Do you know that I see my daughter maybe 2 hours a day? So that the other 22 hours I can break my back proving your innocence? So there's no need to remind me what you've done for me. Just keep in mind what I'm trying to do for you.
I wish Mason was.
Well, he's not. He's not.
All right,
deal
be
with
quiet. Hello. Yes, she's here. I see. All right.
Who is this?
Keith. He wants us to come down to his office right away.
Why?
He says he has to discuss something very important. He said Paul's with him.
Stay away from me. I'm not an inmate here. I'm only doing my job. Well, give me a break, huh?
Kane, what's wrong?
This clown here is following me everywhere I go. I turn around, there he is. I can't take it.
Oh, of course you can't. It's just the way my father reacts to things.
Miss Capwell, considering what happened, you shouldn't be left alone with this guy.
Look, I know you're very capable in your profession, but we won't be needing your services any longer.
I've got my orders from Mr. C.
You've got your orders from Eden, Capwell. You're fired, so get out.
What is going on here?
I was wrong to try to appease you by allowing that guard in our house.
Appease me? Let's understand something, young lady. This is my house. You brought a dangerous man into this house, and I intend to have my family protected.
Okay, Daddy, this is your house. It's your decision. If you want a security guard here, fine. But if the guard stays, Kane and I go. Take your pick.
He said I pushed you into a corner by blaming you for what happened to Johnny. But instead, you paid me back. You helped me find my son. If I would have listened to you, if I would have tried to help you, and maybe together we could have found a way to get what we needed from Timmons, but I didn't. And I'm sorry. Very sorry.
You never have to say you're sorry to me.
Yes, I do. That's why I wanted you to come back tonight.
Thanks.
Look, if you're not doing anything tonight, I thought maybe you'd like to see a movie or something, you know, something funny. Or maybe some dinner or something.
No, a movie would be great. I'd love to.
I'd love to be able to help you, Eden. But I'm just not remembering any of this physical therapy I'm supposed to know so much about. I mean, the best I could do would be to offer the occasional wheelchair joke.
Oh, you will. You will remember, and you'll help me. I know you will.
I don't know, you're putting a lot of stock in this. I just don't know if I will remember anything else. I mean, I've got to start dealing with what I do remember.
But, Kane, those are painful memories for you.
Not all of them. I've got to get on with my life, Eden. I think it'd be best if I left.
No. No, you can't leave. Listen, Kane, I'm sorry about the security guard, but he's fired. He won't come back, and my father, he'll understand, and he'll come to trust you. You may even like him eventually.
It's not the guard or your father. I have things I have to do.
Like what? Your life was in the mountains, and you don't remember any of that.
No, but I do remember things before that. I remember some people.
Who?
There's somebody I have to find. I have to find this woman. I loved her. And Miss Sue Lee.
Maybe she should have some kind of psychiatric evaluation. I mean, I've heard of cases where women get totally obsessed with the men who hold them captive.
Well, I don't think that's what's happened to Eden.
Don't you want to tell me what has happened to her? She doesn't make any sense. I try to talk sense into her. She keeps protecting him. She's overly protecting him. I can't pry her away from him.
Well, she thinks that the guy can help her.
He's admitted he can't help her. If I didn't know better, I think she would... No, she doesn't love anybody else but you.
Yeah, but it's just the matter of she doesn't want me to be around right now. She can't handle it.
You... Come on now, you know why. You understand why. There must be something that the two of us can do to make her see the light about this man. There's got to be something.
To tell you the truth, I don't think this man is the problem.
What the hell do you think is the problem? Don't you remember what he did with the gun outside the hotel?
Yes, I do, but she is convinced that he didn't mean her any harm.
She was also convinced to let us think she was dead for 5 months. Don't you think he has some kind of hold on her? We've got to get him out of the house.
I think it's a matter of... It's Eden we should be worried about. I don't care about that guy. I care about getting through to her and making her realize that I still love her and I always will. That way, whether she recovers from this thing physically or not, she's going to be with me. We'll be happy. We'll have a life together. That's what's important.
You believe that, Cruz? Get your fanny over to the house and take control of the situation.
Mr. C, we're talking about Eden here. I'm not going to bully her into doing what I want. I love her. She's going to... You know what Eden is like.
You're just going to stand by. That's what you're
No, I'm not going to stand by. I'm going to hang around. I'm going to be in the picture. I'm going to go back as many times as I have to, but it's up to her to turn to me in her own good time.
So we're stuck with King. I'll put one of my guards on him. She's threatening to move out if I don't get rid of the guard.
Well, Don't worry about that. I'm going to keep my eye on the guy as long as he's anywhere near her, believe me.
Hey, you promised me you never give up on her.
I thought she was dead, and I never stopped loving her. I'll be damned if I'm going to let go of her now.
That's my man.
I'm sorry. Certainly didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, it's not a problem. We were just leaving. Mr. C?
I'll be alone in a moment.
I'm very sorry that your daughter's having such a difficult time, Mr. Capwell.
Are you?
Of course. It must be very trying for her to reconcile herself to the fact that she'll be confined in a wheelchair for the rest of her life.
We're not accepting that as fact, Miss Norris. And I am very well aware of the trouble that you have caused between Cruz and Eden.
Any trouble there may be was caused by Eden, not by me.
You know, I didn't like you from the beginning. I was suspect of you worming your way into Cruz's life. You always seemed to be there.
You're right. I was there. All the time while Eden was off in those mountains, letting you and Cruz and everyone else think she was dead.
That is none of your damn business.
Oh, right. Keep anything that might besmirch the Capwell name under wraps. Well, now I hear she's moved that maniac into your home. And I'll bet that makes about as much sense to you as it does to me. I'm not your daughter's problem, Mr. Capwell. She needs a good psychiatrist.
You are a brazen woman, Miss Norris. I guess you think people might think that attractive. I don't.
I don't really care what you like or don't like about me.
I don't like anything about you. And if you had any sense, you'd take yourself out of Santa Barbara and out of our lives.
You've deluded yourself into thinking that you can order anyone in Santa Barbara around.
I can make life very miserable for you.
Well, give it your best shot. I'm staying put. You may be able to order your family around, but you have no hold on me.
Was I right from the beginning? You're nothing but a conniving, manipulative black widow.
You let go of my arm!
Well, this is highly unusual behavior for you, Keith. I hope that you come to your senses and are going to drop all the charges against my client.
Bravo. I mean, there you are behind the 8 ball again. You come out swinging. Did Annie Oakley here tell you about the emotional torture she put Paul through today?
I'm the one who's being tortured, Keith.
You know, control her, or I'm going to bring up additional charges against her, okay?
And I'm going to make sure that my client sues the district attorney's office when this is all over.
Oh, please. You know something? I'm going to bring you up on a chargement of harassment, additional to the charges of attempted murder that I'm bringing her up on.
Oh, you're always so good at thinking up lies.
Victoria, please. You're in enough trouble already.
The only sensible thing your attorney has said all day. You know something? This is going to add another stripe to your prison garb.
Would anyone object here at all if we got to this point of this little meeting?
The point is that either you put her on a leash, or I'm going to revoke her bail, and she's going to be in jail for the duration of the trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do. And I don't think it will be necessary to resort to such extreme measures, will it, Victoria?
No.
Well, good. Well, all right. Well, I suppose a humble apology to Paul here, and then we won't bring any additional charges, okay?
You've made your point, Keith. And I don't think you can do anything to make the charges stick. Otherwise, you wouldn't have invited us to your office here. My client will not harass Mr. Marshall again. As for an apology, I won't allow my client to give either one of you the satisfaction. As for me personally, I can't wait to get you into court so that I can ram this one right down your lying throat.
Ooh. Bluster! Bluster! You're sunk and she knows it!
So you think we really got her now, huh?
Yeah, we got her. Can you do 2 things for me?
What's that?
Stop stealing children.
Right. No more babies.
Get out of here.
I just don't think now's the right time for you to leave.
No, there's something else. I saw it in your eyes when I mentioned Sue Lee's name.
Kane, I know that you'll remember things soon enough. I just think you should take it slowly.
No, you know something that you're not telling me, don't you? Something I don't remember.
You have to tell me. You can't keep it from me. If I could help you walk, I would. You can help me remember. You have to do it.
She never made it out.
What are you talking about?
She didn't make it out of Saigon before it fell.
You saying she's dead?
Yes.
How did it happen? Tell me!
You were with her on the last helicopter out, and you... The crowd surged up and tore you apart.
I reached out to her. She grabbed hold of my hand. But I couldn't hold her. I dropped. I killed her.
No, you didn't. You tried to save her. You didn't.
No, I killed her. It's my fault she's dead.
I'm Tom Brokaw. At NBC Nightly News, we believe you should get the facts easily. We think you deserve to understand the day's events clearly. We have to earn your confidence by examining the issues fairly. That's why at NBC Nightly News, we cover the world with you in mind.
And tonight, throughout the evening, you'll be seeing special previews of J.J. Starbuck. A new hero comes home to NBC this fall.